This is Jed Disler, and welcome to the Piano Maven, your friendly podcast guide to piano recordings. I haven't really covered any chamber music with piano on this podcast, so I'm going to make amends, and we might as well start at the top with 3 recordings that not only have enjoyed legendary status nearly one whole century after they were recorded, but they also deserve to be called legendary. These are the 3 large-scale works for violin and piano recorded by violinist Fritz Kreisler and pianist Sergei Rachmaninov, and these recordings date from 1928. They are Schubert's Duo in A major, Beethoven's Sonata in G major, Opus 30, number 3, and the Sonata number 3 in C minor, Opus 45 by Edvard Grieg. From the first to last notes in all of these recordings, you sense an immediate rapport and mutual affinity between Kreisler and Rachmaninoff, even though they are quite different musicians. Kreisler is affectionate and songful, while Rachmaninoff is assertive and even gruff at times. But they both think in long phrase groups, and they are never afraid of projecting. In the Schubert Duo, Kreisler's portamentos, the way he slides from one note to another, may sound kind of old-fashioned to modern ears, but they never sound arbitrary, these slides, and they never sound slurpy or self-indulgent. These gestures always have such a clear and specific expressive point. And to hear Kreisler in his prime is such a treat. His intonation is dead of center, and his rich, beefy tone, which is almost viola-like, is in full focus. And for those who thought that Heifetz began where Kreisler left off, well, Kreisler could really play. I mean, just check out his amazing double-stop technique in the second movement of the Beethoven alone. And then there is Rachmaninoff's rhythmic drive and his trademark left-hand accents and his dynamic awareness, which really come together splendidly in the Beethoven sonata. And to hear Rachmaninoff in Beethoven play with such authority, it makes you regret that he did not record any solo Beethoven besides his wonderful yet unfortunately abridged recording of the 32 variations in C minor. Now, there are no stylistic issues whatsoever with the Grieg sonata. This is simply impassioned and emotionally generous music making. And maybe the romanza movement is a little indulgent in regard to rubato, but there's not a vulgar bone in this recording's body. And actually, there's an alternate performance of the Beethoven, which was culled from alternate takes made at the same sessions as the takes that were released. And the preferred takes, the more familiar ones, are generally cleaner, but maybe the alternate takes are a little more spontaneous. The most impactful transfers of these 3 Kreisler-Rachmaninoff performances are those effected by Mark Obert-Thorn that he did for the Noxus label. I don't think that this physical disc was ever made available in the United States, but you can find it as an import. So if you don't have these recordings with Fritz Kreisler and Sergei Rachmaninoff at the top of their technical and musical and communicative form, you really have to have them in your collection. And with all due respect to Batman and Robin, Kreisler and Rachmaninoff were the original dynamic duo, except no substitute. This is Jed Disler, and you've been listening to The Piano Maven, your friendly podcast guide to piano recordings. Take good care, and I look forward to being with you for the next episode.